And good morning, it's Dan. Welcome to Thursday. And today we're going to talk about content creation. Because in order for you to market your business and get as many eyeballs on your business as possible, you have to market in the most cost-effective way possible. And the most cost-effective way possible is through creation of content. And you need to start creating more content. So let's talk about what are we going to do? How are we going to start creating more content? So let's just go to CrossFit this morning. You know, on a morning and you're like, oh, so tired. And you've not had enough coffee, or it feels like no matter how much coffee you drink, you still can't wake up. Today is one of those days. And I think it could be because it's overcast. And it is overcast and it's a little bit cool today, middle of May. We expect it to be sunny every day. That's why we moved to Spain in the first place. But obviously, it's not sunny every day. I've just cleaned the dog's ears and she's shaking her ears quite a bit. We've had this problem with Bumble for basically all of her life. Nothing has worked. We've been to the vets so many times, we've spent so much money on pills and potions to sort her ears out, and we just have to end up cleaning her ears every couple of days, and so it drives her insane. But I've had to clean them this morning and it drives her absolutely insane. Anyway, we're off to CrossFit and not feeling like I can really be that bothered, but we'll have to go do it anyway and we'll see where we get. So that's another CrossFit session done. Took a day off yesterday because I needed it, and honestly today I really couldn't be bothered. Like, I really didn't want to do it today, and I just feel like I've been doing too much probably, so just brought it down a level. Didn't go extra massive weights or, you know, new personal bests or anything like that. I just wanted to go through the motions of getting a workout done, leading the pack, not having to kill myself to do it. You know, when we first started this 12 months ago, only 12 months ago, I mean, the transition's been phenomenal. I was struggling just to get through a workout. I couldn't finish workouts, in fact. I wish I'd have filmed them. I couldn't finish them. And now I can finish them, and usually finish them with everybody else. And there was only one other guy who had a higher jump and a slightly higher weight than me on devil presses. I did 17.5 kilos, he did 20 kilos. Anyway, so only a small amount, and he's like half my age. So with the, you know, the transition from where I was to where I am right now has been fundamentally huge. So I don't need to push it all the time, and it's something that the ego really struggles with. My ego, because I'm competitive, right? I'm really competitive, like, in case you've not noticed. I have to win at everything. If someone half my age, I'm like, I can beat them. Like, why, you know, even if they've been doing it for 5 years and I've been doing it for a year and they're half my age, yeah, I can beat them. Like, I can't help that. It's just a part of me. It's who I am. And recognizing that is a part of me, and it can get me into trouble, by the way. You know, I nearly kill myself sometimes. But recognizing that and then removing ego out of that equation makes for a much better performance, makes for no injuries. I had one injury last year, which was a pretty big one on my race. I couldn't do handstand push-ups or anything. Couldn't even attempt them. And it was because I was working off ego, and that was a hard lesson to learn. But ego really doesn't help when you're in business, when you're in sports or anything like that. So sometimes you need just a normal day. You don't have to blow the lid off. Sometimes you just have to turn up and perform, and that's what we did today, and we did very well because of it. So then we know that we should be creating more content. The question usually then becomes, what content do we create? How do I come up with new topics? How can I get inspired? What the heck am I going to talk about? So there's a couple of things that we can probably help you with there. First up, you're probably in an industry magazine, or you have an industry magazine or a website or some kind of news source. So, you know, for example, in property, if you type property news, if you're a bricklayer, type bricklaying news. I don't know, there'll be some kind of magazine, stuff that's happening in your industry that you could talk about. Like in property, there's loads. Like property is my first love, so to speak. So in property, there's property news, there's interest rate, interest rate
rises. That's really difficult to say. I wanted to use the word hike. That's happened today with the Bank of England. So we did a short video on YouTube. It's got about 60 views. Probably a couple of subscribers off that as well. So there's always some kind of industry news that you can talk about, or something that's going on in your industry on a regular basis. So for example, we know that once a month the Bank of England will all meet, we'll all have lots of tea and coffee, lots of cream cakes, and then they'll put our interest rates up yet again, because why not? And then the Bank of England governor will come out and tell us not to ask for wage increases, because why should little people get wage increases? Why should they be able to afford food and petrol and TV and whatever, right? That's just the Bank of England. So we know that they're going to do that once a month. And in your industry, there will be things that are happening once a month. So get yourself a calendar. Like, one of the really good calendars is to do with financial services, like unemployment figures in America. That has a knock-on effect. For example, if your business is in the finance industry, you know, America sneezes, the world catches cold, for example. So there's always a news article or a news item somewhere that you can use to gain some kind of information about, or some inspiration to come up with some content. The other type of thing that you could do is you could go to Amazon, and you could go to the book part of Amazon. You could type in books on property, and you could have a look at the chapters. Chapter titles for me are really good. I like chapter titles. Someone's thought long and hard about what that chapter title could be. That's another good one that you could use. Another one that you could use, and we've just tested this recently, we went to Grant Cardone, we went to his Twitter feed, and we got a little bit of free software that would download all of his tweets effectively, put them into a spreadsheet for us, and then we go through that spreadsheet manually. And you know, Grant Cardone does tweet a load of bollocks from time to time, so you have to go through and edit all the ones that you don't want. Delete. It does tweet a lot of bollocks, so you go through those, and then what you're left with are other ones that you think, yeah, you know, I could put a little bit of content around that. Now, it doesn't have to be Grant Cardone. There's all sorts of people in your industry. Go see what other people are tweeting about, and it's the headline that you're looking for. And once you've got the headline, so Grant Cardone tweets often a load of motivational bullshit. That's what he basically tweets. So things like keep one foot going in front of the other. So you could think back to a time where you felt like giving up, but you didn't. You put one foot in front of the other, and you had a success. Like, is that worthy to share? Yes, I would think it is. In fact, one of the things that I really miss right now, me and the missus are watching a program on TV, and it's a dating program, right? Because I'm married, so we have to watch dating programs. I don't know, it's either houses or dating programs. Anyway, so all the guys are in one house and all the women are in another house, and the guys are like helping each other, they're giving each other support. And I'm like, you know what, this should be more mainstream. There should be more programs like The Apprentice, but instead of them like going against each other, how about a program where they actually help each other? They've got their backs, they go out of their way to absolutely help other people be more successful. Why is there not more TV like that? Like, I would watch that. I need that in my life. I don't need all this dog eat dog, Dragon's Den, you know, these 4 dragons ripping off these poor bastards who come and try and sell the soul for 5% of the business, and they end up losing 50%. I hate stuff like that. The Apprentice, I'm the world's best businessman. And they're useless. They don't even buy the domain name of the company that they're pitching. It's just ridiculous. So there should be more stuff like that. But you can think back to a time where you put one foot in front of the other, and it all came out and it all went fine. Another thing that you could do is, if you go to YouTube and start to follow a couple of people in your industry and see what are they talking about. Now, I'm not saying that you copy, I'm just saying that you get inspiration from some of the posts that they're doing. So for example, if it's interest rates, I use interest rates just because it's happened today. If it's interest rates, what are some of the other people talking about this? What's Phil Spencer from location, the world's most useless estate agent. What's his take on it? What I used to love about location was Phil Spencer would come and he'd go, right, we're going to put an offer in on this house. It's 500,000 and we're going to put an offer in. Yeah, we'd like to offer 495,000. What? 1% below asking? All right then. Like, come on, dude. You're supposed to be helping these people, not stitching them up. The world's worst estate agent. So, what's Phil Spencer's take on the interest rate hikes? What's he saying? Find people who have an opposite viewpoint to one that you might have. Like, I think interest rate hikes are a really bad thing. Obviously, I'm an investor, so it hurts me, right, financially. Go find someone who thinks it's a good thing. Find out why they think it's a good thing. Usually it's because they want a house price crash. And then you could do a reaction video to their video, or you could just answer their question, you know. So you could say, for example, let me do it as an example. You could say, here's a person who's got, who wants interest rate hikes, and he thinks that it's going to get lower house prices because of it. So you could do a video about that specifically. So here's a guy on Twitter who thinks he's going to get cheaper houses because of higher interest rates. Let me tell you why that's not going to happen. A, B, C, D. Right? So that's a really good way of creating content. You could create content like I'm doing. Sat in the car. Sometimes we go from one place to another, so I might give a bit of content at CrossFit, I give a bit of content in the car, give a bit of content sat at home, and sometimes we jump cut those so that, you know, I'm in one place, then I'm in another place, then I'm in another place. Or sometimes we'll put, what do we call it, B-roll over the top, just to make it a bit more interesting, so it's keeping the brain excited. Like if this was just the 10 minutes of me in the car talking, you're going to get bored and you're going to turn off. So we might put some jump cuts in there just to make it a bit more interesting. We might put some B-roll over the top. You'll notice that we put different music in it as well. It just keeps people interested, just to help us get the views. But this is about you demonstrating your expertise. So it's not just about events that are going on in your marketplace or in the world. You could also, and you should also, talk about how to use your product, how not to use your product, how other people are using your product, what's the best way to use it, other uses for that product, what to do if you run out of ideas for using that product. Depends on the product, right? There's lots of different things that you could create from a point of view of content that's going to help you. And then just finally on this one, if you go to Google, good old Google, so let's say you've got, let's say a mobile phone. Let's say you sell mobile phones, because that's the only thing I can think of right now. And let's say you're based in Leeds. And so the new Samsung phone's coming out. So you could give 5 reasons as to why the new Samsung 23 is better than the Samsung 22. Or if you're on a Samsung 6, why you should upgrade to the latest phone. Like, there's all sorts of different reasons why you could do that if that's a mobile phone shop. You could talk about the latest tariffs. A good one, for example, is on mortgage brokers, talking about the latest buy-to-let mortgage for HMOs with the latest interest rate hike, what to expect. Like, do you think that people are going to Google and typing in best HMO mortgage in the UK right now? Yeah, you create a video about that. So you go to Google, find out what people are typing, and it will give you suggestions. When you type HMO mortgages, it'll tell you what people are actually searching for. So you just create a video about that precise topic, and there you go. There's a bit of content, and again, you're able to demonstrate your ability to get in front of as many people as you can. Okay, so look, I hope that's useful, and we'll catch up with you in tomorrow's video. We're just picking up the little one from school, so we won't be filming anymore. Hope you have a good day, and we'll speak to you tomorrow. Thank you.